Picture this, you wake up one morning and the house is so quiet you can hear the clock ticking on the wall. No one's calling your name, no one's stopping by for coffee, and the day stretches out in front of you like an empty road. Maybe you've lost a spouse, maybe your kids have moved far away, or maybe your friends aren't as close as they used to be. That kind of solitude can hit hard, especially when you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. It's not just about being alone. It's about the weight of that silence, the way it makes you wonder if life still has the same spark. But here's the good news, being alone doesn't mean you have to feel lonely, unhealthy, or lost. In fact, this chapter of your life can be one of the most vibrant, fulfilling times you've ever known, if you know how to approach it. Today, we're diving into 4 simple, powerful habits that can help you stay healthy, happy, and mentally strong, even when you're living alone. These aren't complicated tricks or expensive solutions. They're practical, rooted in real-life wisdom, and backed by science designed to fit into your day, no matter how much energy or time you have. Whether you're already navigating life on your own or preparing for a future where these habits will give you the tools to thrive, not just survive. And trust me, stick around until the end, because the 4th habit might just change the way you see your days entirely. It's something that's helped countless seniors turn solitude into a source of strength. Let's get started with the first habit. The first thing you can do to stay healthy, happy, and mentally strong when living alone is to build a gentle morning ritual that sets the tone for your day. When you're on your own, it's easy to let mornings slip away. Maybe you stay in bed a little longer, skip breakfast, or forget to open the curtains. Before you know it, the day feels aimless, and that can chip away at your energy and mood. But a morning ritual doesn't have to be elaborate. It's about creating a small intentional start that tells your mind and body, I'm ready for today. Think of it like planting a seed for a good day, one that grows into a sense of purpose and calm. Start with something as simple as getting out of bed at the same time each morning. It doesn't have to be early, maybe it's 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Whatever feels right for you. Then make your bed. It's a tiny act, but it signals to your brain that you're taking charge. Next, try splashing some water on your face, brushing your teeth, and putting on fresh clothes, even if it's just a comfortable sweater and pants. These small steps wake up your senses and give you a sense of dignity. Then sit down for a simple breakfast, maybe a piece of toast with jam, a bowl of oatmeal, or a cup of tea with a banana. The key is consistency, not perfection. Why does this matter? Research shows that a predictable morning routine can reduce anxiety and improve mental clarity, especially as we age. When your world feels quiet, these small rituals act like anchors, grounding you in a sense of normalcy. I remember hearing about a woman named Margaret, a 76-year-old, who lived alone after her husband passed. For months, she drifted through her mornings feeling foggy and unmotivated. Then she decided to start each day by brewing a pot of coffee, sitting by her kitchen window and listening to the birds. That 15-minute ritual became her favorite part of the day. She said it made her feel like she was still part of the world, even if no one else was there. Your morning ritual doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Maybe you spend a few minutes stretching, watering a plant, or reading a page from a favorite book. The point is to create a rhythm that feels like yours. It's not about filling your day with tasks, it's about starting with intention. This habit can boost your mood, sharpen your focus, and even help your body regulate things like sleep and appetite. Over time, you'll notice that those aimless mornings turn into moments of quiet confidence, setting you up to face the day with strength. Now let's move on to the second habit, staying active with small, joyful movements. One of the toughest parts of living alone in your later years is how easy it is to become still. Maybe you spend hours in your favorite chair flipping through the TV or staring out the window. The days blend together, and before you know it, your body feels stiff. Your energy fades, and even simple tasks like walking to the mailbox feel daunting. But here's the truth: you don't need to run a marathon or join a gym to stay healthy. Small, joyful movements done consistently can transform how you feel physically and mentally. What do I mean by joyful movement? It's anything that gets your body moving in a way that feels good, not forced. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk around your yard swaying to music while you dust the shelves, or doing a few gentle stretches while your tea brews. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself, it's to remind your body that it's still alive and capable. For example, studies show that just 15 minutes of light activity a day can lower your risk of depression, improve your balance, and even boost your memory. That's because movement sends oxygen to your brain, strengthens your muscles, and releases feel-good chemicals that lift your spirits. Take John, an 82-year-old who lives alone in a small apartment. After his kids moved away, he stopped going out much and his knees started aching. One day he decided to try something simple every morning. He'd walk to the end of his hallway and back just 5 times. It took less than 5 minutes. Over weeks, he added a few more trips, then started walking to the corner store. He told me he didn't just feel stronger, he felt proud. Those small steps made him feel like he could still do things for himself, like carrying his groceries or tending to his plants. The beauty of this habit is that it's flexible. If walking's not your thing, try chair exercises, lifting your arms, rolling your shoulders, or tapping your feet to a favorite song. If you can step outside for a moment to feel the breeze or wave at a neighbor. These tiny moments of movement don't just keep your body healthy, they connect you to the world around you. They remind you that you're still here, still moving, still alive. And that's a powerful feeling when you're on your own. If you're finding this helpful so far, drop a 2 in the comments to let me know you're with me. We've got 2 more habits to cover, and they're just as powerful, so let's keep going. Now that we've talked about starting your day with a gentle morning ritual and keeping your body moving with small, joyful activities, let's dive into the third habit that can make a world of difference when you're living alone, nurturing small but meaningful connections. When you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, and the house feels quieter than it used to, it's easy to go days without hearing another voice. Maybe your family lives far away, or your old friends aren't around as much. That silence can start to feel heavy, like a blanket you didn't choose to wrap around yourself. But here's the thing: you don't need a bustling social life to feel connected. A few intentional, heartfelt interactions can light up your heart and keep your spirit strong, even in solitude. Connection doesn't mean throwing big parties or filling your calendar with events. It's about those small, warm moments that remind you you're still part of the world. Think of a quick phone call to a relative, a chat with the mail carrier, or even a smile exchange with someone at the grocery store. These moments might seem small, but they carry a surprising amount of power. Science backs this up. Studies show that older adults who have even brief social interactions have stronger immune systems, lower stress levels, and a reduced risk of cognitive decline. It's not about how many people you talk to. It's about feeling seen, heard, and valued, even for a moment. Let me tell you about Clara, an 80-year-old woman who lives alone in a small town. After her sister passed, she felt like her world shrank. She wasn't one for crowds, but the lack of conversation started to weigh on her. One day she decided to call her niece every Sunday, just to check in. Those 10-minute calls filled with stories about old family recipes or the weather became the highlight of her week. Then she started saying hello to the young man who delivered her newspaper. Over time, they chat about his dog or her garden. Those tiny connections didn't change her life overnight, but they gave her something to look forward to. She said it was like little sparks that kept her heart warm. You can create these sparks too. Start with something simple. Call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, even if it's just to say, "I was thinking of you." If you're not big on phones, try writing a short note to someone, a neighbor, a grandchild, or even a distant cousin. Or maybe strike up a conversation with someone you see regularly, like the cashier at your local store. Ask them about their day, and you might be surprised how much it lifts your mood. If you're feeling adventurous, consider joining a low-key group activity like a book club at the library or a gardening meetup. The goal isn't to fill your life with people, it's to create moments where you feel connected, even briefly. What makes this habit so powerful is that it fights the quiet creep of loneliness without overwhelming you. You don't need to be the life of the party. You just need to reach out in a way that feels natural. Those small interactions remind you that your voice still matters, that your story still resonates. They're like tiny threads weaving you back into the fabric of the world. And when you're living alone, those threads can make all the difference, keeping your emotional health strong and your mind sharp. If this is resonating with you, drop a 3 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. It means a lot to hear from you, and it helps us keep creating content that speaks to your heart. Let's keep going with the next habit. The fourth habit is about finding a personal passion that gives your days meaning. When you're living alone, especially in your later years, it's easy to feel like your purpose has slipped away. Maybe you're no longer working, your kids are grown, or the roles that once defined you like spouse, parent, or caregiver are quieter now. That can leave a void, a sense that the world doesn't need you anymore. But let me tell you something. Your purpose doesn't vanish with age or solitude. It just takes a new shape, one that's yours to discover. And when you find it, it can transform your days from empty to deeply fulfilling. A personal passion doesn't have to be big or impressive. It's not about saving the world or winning awards. It's about finding something that makes you want to get out of bed, something that lights a small fire in your soul. Maybe it's tending to a few potted herbs on your windowsill, sketching the trees outside, or writing down memories for your family. Maybe it's learning something new, like how to bake bread or play a few chords on a guitar you haven't touched in years. The key is that it's something you do for you, not for applause, not for anyone else's expectations, but because it makes your heart feel full. Take Henry, a 79-year-old man who lives alone in a quiet neighborhood. After retiring, he felt like his days had no direction. He missed the structure of work, the sense of being needed. Then one day he found an old camera in a box. He started taking photos of the flowers in his yard, experimenting with light and angles. It wasn't about becoming a photographer. It was about noticing the world again. He'd spend mornings capturing the way dew sat on a petal or how the sunset hit his fence. Those moments gave him a reason to get up away, to see beauty in his quiet life. He even started sharing his photos with his daughter, who printed them for her home. That small passion gave him joy and a sense of pride. Research supports this too. Studies show that older adults with a sense of purpose whether it's a hobby, volunteering, or a personal project, have lower rates of depression, better sleep, and even a longer life expectancy. That's because purpose gives your mind something to focus on, something to build toward. It's like a compass for your spirit guiding you through the quiet days. And when you're alone, you have the freedom to explore what truly matters to you. Maybe you've always wanted to knit a blanket, read every classic novel, or start a journal about your life. This is your time to try without judgment. How do you find that passion? Start small. Think about what brought you joy in the past, even as a child. Was it drawing, singing, or fixing things around the house? Or try something new that's always intrigued you. Spend 10 minutes a day on it, whether it's doodling, planting seeds, or writing a letter. Notice how it feels. If it sparks even a tiny bit of joy, keep going. That spark can grow into something that fills your days with meaning. And that meaning is what keeps you mentally strong, happy, and healthy, no matter who's around. If you're finding this inspiring, let me know by dropping a 4 in the comments. Your thoughts keep us going, and we've got more to share, so let's keep moving forward. We've already explored how a gentle morning ritual, small joyful movements, and meaningful connections can transform your days when you're living alone. These habits build a foundation for feeling strong and connected. But there's one more piece to this puzzle that ties it all together, and it's a game changer. The fourth habit, finding a personal passion, is so powerful that we're going to dive deeper into it here, wrapping it up with a final reflection that will leave you inspired to make your days not just bearable, but truly rich. Let's keep going and unpack how this habit, along with a mindset shift, can help you thrive, no matter how quiet your house might feel. Finding a personal passion isn't just about filling time. It's about rediscovering what makes you feel alive. When you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond and living alone, it's easy to think the big, meaningful moments of life are behind you. Maybe you used to find purpose in raising a family, building a career, or caring for others, but now those roles have faded. That can leave you feeling like you're just drifting, like the days don't have the same weight they once did. But here's the truth. Your life still matters, and your passions can still grow, even in solitude. A personal passion is like a quiet flame. It doesn't need to be loud or flashy, but it can warm your whole world. What does this look like in practice? It could be something as simple as tending a small garden, even if it's just a few pots on your porch. Maybe it's picking up a craft, like knitting a scarf for a grandchild or painting a picture of your favorite view. Or perhaps it's writing down stories from your life memories of your childhood, your first love, or the adventures you had decades ago. These aren't just hobbies. They're ways to reconnect with yourself, to remind yourself that your creativity, your curiosity, and your spirit are still vibrant. The beauty of living alone is that you have the space to explore these passions without anyone else's expectations weighing you down. Consider Sarah, an 84-year-old who lives alone in a small apartment. After her husband passed, she felt like her days had lost their color. She wasn't sure what to do with herself until she found an old journal in a drawer. She started writing a few lines each day, nothing fancy, just thoughts about her life, like the time she learned to dance, or the way her mother made soup. Over time, those entries became a project. She decided to write a collection of stories for her grandkids. It wasn't about being a writer. It was about leaving something behind, something that said, I was here, and this is what I loved. Sarah said those quiet hours with her journal made her feel like she was living for herself again, not just passing time. Research backs up why this matters. Studies show that engaging in meaningful activities, whether creative, intellectual, or even physical, can boost mental health, reduce stress, and even improve physical well-being in older adults. When you pour energy into something you care about, your brain stays sharp, your mood lifts, and you feel a sense of accomplishment. It's not about being perfect or producing a masterpiece. It's about the act of creating, of caring, of giving yourself a reason to look forward to tomorrow. And when you're alone, that reason becomes a lifeline, a way to keep your spirit strong and your heart full. How do you find this passion? Start by asking yourself, what's something I've always wanted to try, even if it feels silly? Maybe it's learning a few chords on a ukulele, planting a vegetable patch, or reading a book about history that's always fascinated you. Start small, spend 10 minutes a day on it. If it doesn't spark joy, try something else. The key is to give yourself permission to explore, to play, to make mistakes. You're not competing with anyone. This is your time, your space to rediscover what lights you up. And when you find it, you'll notice your days feel less empty. Your heart feels a little lighter, and your mind feels sharper. If this idea is speaking to you, drop a 4 in the comments to let me know you're still here. Your thoughts mean so much, and they help us keep sharing ideas that matter to you. Now let's bring this all together. Living alone in your later years can feel like stepping into a new world. One that's quieter, maybe a little daunting, but also full of possibility. The habits we've talked about, a gentle morning ritual, small joyful movements, meaningful connections, and a personal passion, aren't just tips. They're tools to help you build a life that feels full, even when you're the only one at home. They're about reclaiming your days, your health, and your happiness in a way that's simple, doable, and deeply rewarding. You don't need a crowded house or a busy schedule to feel alive. You just need to take small steps to show up for yourself with kindness and intention. Maybe you're thinking about that quiet house, that ticking clock, and wondering if you can really make a change. You can. Start with one of these habits. Maybe tomorrow morning you'll make your bed and sit down with a cup of tea, or take a short walk to feel the air in your face. Maybe you'll call an old friend or pick up a pencil to sketch something you see. These small acts add up, and they remind you that your life, your story, your presence still matters. You're not just getting by, you're building something beautiful one day at a time. Which of these habits felt closest to your heart today? Is there one you're already doing, or one you're excited to try? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what's on your mind. And reading your stories keeps us inspired to create more content like this. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next one. Your support helps us keep reaching people just like you, people who deserve to live with joy and strength no matter their age or who's by their side. Here's to making every day a little brighter, a little fuller, and a lot more yours. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.